Go Guess Podcast. We haven't decided we're doing it. We have Colby.
Oh, sure. Do it when I'm bending over. I'm Fee.
This is stupid. Do it again.
Do it again. We're not doing it live. God. I knocked something over, and you're like, okay, I'll give you a break. Oh, I'm gonna go get his podcast.
Yeah, here's the thing. I sucked in air, and I was holding my breath, and then I was like, oh, I've got to let my breath go, and my brain was just like, but you do that when you say the thing, so just do that. So I did.
It doesn't matter what Fee's doing. Who cares?
Yeah, nah.
That goofball. Dance clown is what the people tell me.
There's a bend over Fee. We want to see that butt.
You fucking clown. I want to see that crack.
Good for you.
I'm drinking McDonald's orange juice.
What? Why?
Because I had McDonald's for breakfast this morning.
Oh, and it's just sitting around?
What? It was in the fridge.
Oh, okay. Acceptable. I thought this was like hours old, like room temperature orange juice that was just sitting there.
Well, no, I mean, it is hours old. It's just, it was in the fridge.
Yeah, that, for whatever reason, that makes it better, though. Like, there was so fun fact, listeners at home, there was a time in which me and Mike and Fee went to a movie, and they didn't clean up the theater from the last movie, and Fee was like, oh, dude, I can just get a free sody. And he threw away the straw that was in there and just grabbed a new straw and was like, dude, this is fine. And I thought through it. I was indignant about how gross that was, and I kept thinking through it, and I was like, the only way in which that's not okay is like a mild amount of backwash from the previous person, but like, you have a new straw, it's almost entirely full, they maybe didn't drink it at all, like, all right, you crazy.
Come on, it's almost as if they're. I don't even know what movie we're going to go watch that was there, but it's almost as if they got their free refill at the very end, not knowing how much time was left, and then was like, oh well, this was a waste of a refill. Didn't take it and left it. Yeah,
and so, well, fuck this. I'm mad at this.
So yeah, it was brand new. Like, there was even a hat. Oh, I don't know if this was grosser or like it's fine, but there was like a half thing of popcorn there, right?
Yeah.
Like a almost full thing of popcorn, and it was like there, and we're just like, fucking free popcorn.
I mean, listen, like the only contamination, right, is from somebody putting their hands in, right, and they're probably just taking the kernels that they want and taking them out. So
this was early 2000s, so like things weren't as dirty back then.
yeah. Everybody really washed their hands, and it was just a cleaner place in the past.
I'm telling you, like, for some reason, every time I think of the past, I'm like, man, like I really did not care about like sanitary stuff. Everything was just cleaner.
Yeah, it's because you just didn't think about it at all.
I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it.
I mean, so the other argument with the popcorn, again, it's like you put in your hand, you take out the popcorn. So like like maybe the kernels around the last hand, you know, got a little contaminated with like the dust on the back of your fingies, maybe some human oil, like a little bit. That's not super gross. My dad though I think I've told you this, but my dad got irate because my friend Justin came over to our house and he was like, oh dude, you got Lucky Charms, can I have some? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, because I don't really eat Lucky Charms. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. And so he just took them upstairs. He took the whole box upstairs, and he would like fish around to pull out the marshmallows and just eat the marshmallows, and then he put them back. And my dad was like, the next day he was like, hey, have you been like just eating the marshmallows out of this? And I was like, no, that was Justin. He just took the marshmallows out, and he's like, wait. Your little friend put his grubby little hands in my Lucky Charms and took out all the marshmallows? That's disgusting. His hand's been in there just rooting around. That's disgusting. Did never do that again. And I was like, okay. I just didn't think about it. And then now, if my kid brought a strange friend to my house and then left and was like, oh yeah, I hope you didn't want my friend just really likes chocolate chips, so he picked all the chocolate chips off of the chocolate chip cookies and put them back. Or like he just wanted the cream out of the Oreos, so he just like ate the cream out of the Oreo and put them back in. I hope that's okay. No!
I can't stop thinking about it. Your dad's just irate.
He's
just thinking about it. He's like, this little jerk. That part.
Like every part from the beginning of a Home Alone where they yelled at Kevin McAllister, totally justified if this kid was just rooting around finding gold in your cereal.
Your dad fucking Justin comes over and you're like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Your dad walks in, he's like, look what you did, you little jerk.
You little jerk.
Holding onto the cereal.
Yeah, he holds up the box and just puts it in the trash. He's like, it's ruined.
You did this. And he's like, oh, I can buy you another. No.
You're 10. With what money, dumbass?
You'll probably steal it.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know what I learned about Home Alone? Bringing up Home Alone. So, what I learned about Home Alone, you know how the uncle is just berating Kevin the whole time?
Yeah.
He's just a jerk to everyone. There's a deleted scene where the dad tells him off, and like, it's kind of cathartic because you're like, fuck, finally.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. He kind of learned his lesson. But they cut it out of the movie. And I don't know why.
They said, we don't need to redeem that guy. He's just some people have uncles that are just dickheads, and it's fine.
No, I mean, that's true. But fuck, dude, like, couldn't be my family.
Yeah.
If my uncle told me some shit, my dad would be in a fight that night.
Yeah. I know your dad would. If your dad decided that something was like an affront, it's on. It's fucking on.
To anything. Like, even if my dad was mad at me because of, like, say I did something and I fucked up and he was mad at me. But then, like, it was like at my aunt's house or whatever, and they already got mad at me, and my uncle's like, man, your boy's a little son of a bitch. My dad would be like, hold up, fucking roll his...
Oh, fucking hang on. Hang on.
Fucking people in the other rooms, like, it's getting hot in here. My dad's just blowing steam.
Yeah.
Just angry. You can feel his hockey in the other room.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck, he's going.
Oh, what did you do? My mom fucking has to fucking take him out. God.
They'll just go outside. Just go outside and cool off. And he just fucking he slowly walks through a fucking wall outside, leaves a giant like imprint of himself in the wall, like. Argh!
Yeah, I'm just fucking. They go check in on him. He's just standing out in the yard, and the grass is singed around.
It's just singed.
Fuck. Oh shit! I love my dad, but God. He I think I don't know if he liked fighting, but he could get in a fight like at the drop of a dime for the smallest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's great, but like it's great afterwards to tell the story, but it's probably not like great at the time for anyone around, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's always like the most awkward thing. Is whenever like somebody is just like really pissed off at you and you're like, oh, I feel like unsafe now.
That's the thing. Like all my family knew my dad, knew how he was, knew like how like angry and like ridiculous he got. Yet not ever did that like deter them from inviting him over.
Well, it was family. So what are you gonna do?
Listen. That happened last week. This is a new week.
Yeah, he's calmed down. He's fine. He's fine. Don't worry about it.
God, that's just like family, right? I don't know, like if that's your family, but that's just my family. I don't even know if that's a common thing, but
I mean, the thing is, like in my family, that kind of behavior is so off-putting and like not normal that we all just are kind of like I don't fucking know how to deal with that. And so like
That's fair.
this happened when my dad passed away. Like the day that my dad was dying, he was put onto hospice care. He was in his room. A bunch of the family came down from out of town, and we're all just like hanging out in the living room and, you know, going in to see him and check on him and see how he's doing. And then my sister and her daughter come in and like, I mean, basically burst through the front door and sprint into his room. And we're like, the vibe has just been like, we're sad. Everything's chill. We're like sharing memories, like and then they come in and the energy is just like wailing and screaming and crying. And we're like,
did they purposely make a scene?
I don't think that's the thing. Yeah, it was Shanna. The thing is, like, they didn't purposely make a scene. That's just how they were feeling, and it's just way different from how anybody else in the room was. And so like everybody's just like, oh, fucking pull it together.
She was like that with your mom too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I very like distinctly remember that happening.
Yeah, it's
because it was at your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember her like being. I mean, it was a very sad time, of course. Yeah, but I remember like even like you had pulled yourself together, and we ended up having a nice time. Mm-hmm. But like she just did not let it go. And to be fair, if it was my mom, I'd be the embarrassing one. Yeah,
like how the fuck are you supposed to? Like so I totally get it, but like there was a point at which like I think my niece, so they're part of the family. Like my sister and my niece both like chronically overshare. And so like my niece is doing that to my Aunt Mary, and my Aunt Mary is like an elite level executor of tasks. Like she's like, this is a thing we need to be doing. I will get it done. I will do every step in the process. I'll do the whole thing. Like she has like a mind for like, I need to get from A to Z. I know exactly how to do it, and she just executes. And so when my niece is like over, she's like, yeah, I don't think that's really appropriate to be talking about. And my niece just blew up at her and was like, how dare you tell me how I'm supposed to be feeling and how I'm acting? And my aunt's like, you need to fucking chill, because like I'm just saying, we don't need you like screaming and yelling and like talking about, you know, your friends that are dying or whatever. Like I don't need to hear nobody needs to hear any of that. We're all trying to be like a family and trying to like chill out and, you know, be here at this like weirdly bad time. And she just is like beside herself with like, how fucking dare you?
Fucking mascara's running out. Just
Austin, you're fired. Yeah, it like you can't. The other thing is like you can't fault somebody for doing that either. You're like, however people react to something like this is like how they're gonna react, and it's just sort of your job to kind of deal with it. But man, there is that like low key behind the scenes like, hey, fucking, I got my shit together. Can you fucking get your shit together just like a little bit, or
not me, dude. I'm gonna be a mess. The day that my mom finally decides to leave this corporeal plane,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be beside myself.
Fucking burn down the whole town,
dude. Like I'm just gonna be mega depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I've already told my mom how I'm gonna be. She's like, I don't want you to be sad at my funeral. I'm like, fuck you, Mom, you're dead.
Yeah, you don't get a say.
She's like, oh, no, I don't want people to see you sad. I'm like, well, they're gonna.
They're gonna see me sad for like 8 months.
I'm gonna be in a deep, dark depression, and no one will get me out. And that's, you like it or you don't, I don't care. That's how it's gonna be. I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna eat once a week just so that way I have the nutrition.
To continue being sad.
No, like... all honesty, I will. I'm gonna be so distraught. And my sister, she's gonna be sad, but she's gonna like she has to hold it together for Big Sad Fee.
Yeah. She's also got other shit. Like, she's got a kid, so she's got that to do. Like, I will say, one of the easiest things is, like, if you have other things going on that you're, like, managing and that are sort of, like, priority and something that, like, you've got anxiety and brain space about, you can't be too upset about, like, new things that come in, because you just don't have the capacity to.
My sister, she can be sad the day after. She's got to let me be sad first. I knew my mom before she did. I knew her first.
Hey! She starts crying and you're like, hey, shut that shit up! I still got 16 hours!
Fucking it ain't midnight yet. Jeez. Speaking of family, that takes us to our first topic.
Yeah.
The first family.
Yeah.
The Marvel family, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, baby.
The trailer dropped today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
Fantastic Four, what, first steps?
First steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps. I saw it. I like it. I think it looks great. I think it looks classic.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're gonna tie it into the what's it called? They're gonna tie it into the MCU, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of reminds me of like the old Sony Marvel movies, right?
Mm. In that they're shit, or
no, just how it looks like a standalone, right?
oh yeah.
Like you're just chilling, and all of a sudden they drop a Marvel movie randomly, not connected to anything. They're just like, here's Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I guess, sure. Yeah, which is it's nice.
Ghost Rider. I don't care what anyone says. Those early Marvel movies, I fucking love those things. I love both of the Fantastic Four movies. I love both of the Ghost Rider movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Blade movies. Like, what else was there? I didn't like Daredevil or Elektra. They can have those. I didn't like them.
Did you like the Amazing Spider-Man?
The one with Lee Garfield or
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Andrew Garfield. I don't say Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Garfield, that's him.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah, I didn't see the first one in theaters. I saw the second one, and I thought the second one was pretty good, as dumb as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was stoked. I didn't like the Green Goblin in that movie. I thought, what's his name? Jamie, the guy who played Electro, that got his
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Jamie Foxx got his fucking teeth electrified together. The gap got fucking fused together. I thought that was dumb, but I thought it was funny. I was like, it's Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great. I thought Paul Giamatti as a Rhino was funny. I don't care what anyone says. I think he would have been great.
Paul Giamatti is a great actor, and to put him into something that's like that campy, I'm sure he had a lot of fun.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, as campy as the regular Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi ones were, Andrew Garfield ones were like pretty campy too. Mm-hmm. Because like even as much as I don't like the way the Green Goblin looked and his little characters he had, I thought when he was a goblin, he kind of had like the mischievous like goblin down. Like he was like, he's like, I'm goblin, and Spider-Man was like, these nuts.
Yeah,
and
that's how the movie went. I saw it. It was only 45 seconds long. There was these nuts, and then it was over basically.
I didn't like the lizard in part one. I thought it looked stupid. I didn't like part one. I liked part two.
The thing is, like, with the MCU movies, in the beginning, it was really cool. Like, the first time that they had the Avengers, and you're like, oh, shit, like, all these characters are coming together that, like, are connected, and it's like, oh, well, if you watch the end of Thor, you can see the first time we see Thanos, and it's like, oh, or at the end of this movie, you get a sneak preview about, like, oh, shit, Captain America's actually alive. He's fucking over here doing this shit. And you're like, whoa, okay. But at some point, it like collapsed in on itself. And I think it's because the more that they kept doing that, the more that it was like, well, in order to like really understand why Doctor Strange, the second Doctor Strange movie exists, you needed to have seen WandaVision, and you needed to have seen Doctor Strange Part 1. And WandaVision is like, what is it, like 8 hours? And the other one is like, you know, a couple of hours. But you also, this is post Endgame, so you should have seen Endgame, which means that you should have seen Infinity War.
Any of the Disney shows that came out, you had to see all the movies before that to understand where the characters were in this. The thing I didn't like about the Disney shows was you had to do homework. Right? You had to watch hours of content or know like beforehand why they're in where they're at. If they would have just kept it to the movies, it would have been fine. But they didn't.
I mean, to be fair, like, I think they tried to do the, like, non-connected thing with Eternals. They were like, yeah, this is Eternals. It's like, they're over here doing something else.
Here's the thing about the Eternals, and I don't think Disney got this. Nobody fucking knew who the Eternals were.
Yeah.
They had no marketability. And then they tried to make it a 3-hour movie instead of the show it was supposed to be. So they tried to cram hours of lore into a 3-hour movie, which, like, they still didn't explain all the fucking characters that they tried to throw at you.
Yeah, and it also, because it's part of the MCU, you've got the onus now of, like, if this took place while Thanos things were happening, why didn't they show up to help stop Thanos? Like, why? Like, where were they before? Where were they after? Where were they when fucking Captain America was doing his shit? Like,
was Thanos not a big enough threat for them to step in or intervene?
Yeah.
That goes for Captain Marvel as well.
Yep.
Because, like, when they're first fighting him, like, they established that in the Captain Marvel movie that I think that came out after, that was like, you could just call me whenever, fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And she left him a thing, but I guess Sam Jackson didn't think that was, like, big enough for Miss Marvel to help, right?
He was like, no, we got it. Infinity War is going to be no big deal. And then he gets his ass snapped out. So he's like, oh, fuck.
But then even when she did come and help, she didn't really help. Like, she was barely there. In Endgame, she was just like, I'm taking care of my universe. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And then, like, during the fight, she was like, she kind of fights him, but then, like, she gets swatted away and then never comes back.
Yeah, which is like, they set her up to be, like, extremely strong. Like, she's like, okay, this is like the S tier character that we have on the good guy side is fucking Captain Marvel. And then, like, to be fair, in a couple of, like, places where she fights Thanos, like, she's whooping his ass. And then he gets in, like, a good shot, and then that's it. You're like, okay, like, come on, man.
Don't build her up. Don't like market her as like, oh, Miss Marvel, the strongest Avenger, if she's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, like, you got to do something with her.
Especially when, like, Captain America, just a human with super serum, ends up going toe to toe with him, and then Tony kills him.
Yeah,
like, that's so silly. And even the sillier thing in Endgame was all the girls getting together for their one little girl power.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was just like, what the hell is this? Not because I don't like female heroes. I was like, why are they all in the same place at once?
Yeah, like, what do they have to do with one another? Why are they all here doing? Yeah, at the same time.
Like, why are they posing and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
why are they posing? Good question.
And, like, it was cool to see, like, some of the other people, like, interact. Like, fucking when Bucky picks up Rocket and he's like, ah.
Yeah.
And, like, just seeing all the heroes interact with each other, it was just kind of... Marvel does, like, cool things, but then they, like, fold in on themselves and
Yeah.
do stupid things.
Yeah, and it just like it compounds itself, and so it seems at the very least like the Fantastic Four movie, because it's set like early on. Basically, the only two established MCU things that are happening at the time are like Captain America shit happened, I guess, and Eternals are somewhere.
Captain America shit happened, and Bucky is killing people like Tony Stark's dad.
Yeah.
So if I'm to guess, maybe this is a multiverse because like Galactus attacks them in the trailer.
Yeah.
No one fucking brought that up
Yeah.
ever.
No one was like, "Oh yeah, remember when Galactus fucking showed up in the 60s?" And it's like, no.
They better not fucking just cram them into the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Just be like, they were there the whole time. No, the fuck they weren't. This is a multiverse thing. I can almost assure you that's what the case is.
Yeah, and like especially you could put the pieces together pretty easily too, right? It's like they're doing the Fantastic Four thing. We haven't heard of them so far in like this universe. They've done a bunch of multiverse stuff, and then also they announced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back at some point as Doctor Doom. So like, duh, it's got to be that, right?
I just remembered. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doom. He's going to be Doom in this universe.
Yeah.
He's going to be Doom. He's not going to be Tony Stark. He's going to be Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna connect the multiverse. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck! I figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out. That's it. That's it. Like they couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
It couldn't because they announced Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and they put in the Fantastic Four, and it takes place in the 50s, and no one's mentioned them before. It's a multiverse movie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there it is.
Yeah, it
doesn't make me not want to watch it because I want to watch it. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean that's how you get around it. Like that's unfortunately a problem to solve. Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the beginning was a big asset because you could be like, oh yeah, here's a hero that I don't give a shit. Like I don't give a flying fuck about Thor. I couldn't be asked to care about Thor.
A lot of people do though.
However, then you get to the end and you're like, well, I mean, it's got some shit that ties in though. You see, like they got a cameo from this guy, or you see, oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't give a fuck about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt got hot, so like obviously you want to see him shirtless. So like that's good, but you know, I don't give a fuck about these characters. Then you're like, well, but
then you have a director like fucking James Gunn and making it like the best movie in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got some lovable characters making people like care about fucking the Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Yeah.
Because people like them. They just weren't as big. They were kind of an obscure Marvel characters in the franchise. Mm-hmm. But then you have the movie come out and it brings interest again because of, and that's the thing when the movie is like really good, it piques interest in like the comics and the characters again, right?
Yeah.
So suddenly they become recognizable. People are like, I know who Rocket is. I know who Star-Lord is. I know who Mantis is. Like, you can't do that with like say a bad movie like the Marvels.
Yeah.
No one cares who Kamala Khan is. Because I'm not saying she was badly written, but like her show was bad. She did good as an act, like for what they gave her,
mm-hmm.
but the show itself was bad. And in the movie, she was like nothing
mm-hmm.
in that movie. She was like a side character in her own movie, and that movie was bad. And no one cares who Monica Rambeau is. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, but I think that's like the dual problem here because like. Kamala Khan was like is well loved by sort of like the up and coming comic lovers of like 2010 to 2020. That was the area in which like they rebooted some they rebooted Batgirl to like have more of like a cool costume and like a better writing team. This whenever they did Kamala Khan, and like she like really popped off as far as like comics goes. So like in comics people really liked her.
She popped off after Civil War II, which was bad. No one liked Civil War II. And then they kind of redid her, and she got a little popularity. People were like upset at her, like, why is she Miss Marvel now? Well, because Miss Marvel's Captain Marvel now.
Mhm.
Carol Danvers is different now. Well, Carol Danvers was a shit character in Civil War II, because she was basically what is that fucking movie where they stop crimes before it happens?
Oh god, precog, fucking Minority Report.
Yeah, she was minority reporting people in Civil War II. And people were like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. And she's like, nah, this is better. And she was basically fucking doing that, and no one could stop her. And she was like, oh, you want to oppose me? And she'd fucking throw people in prison.
Yeah.
And nobody liked that. Miss Marvel was fine in the comic. Squirrel Girl, she got a big resurgence. We almost got a Squirrel Girl TV show, which I'm really upset, because the voice of her in Marvel Rivals was going to play her in the show live action.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. Speaking of Marvel movies, like as far as Fantastic Four goes, I like the way the Thing looks. He looks great. He looks so good.
Yeah, visually he looks awesome. I'll agree. He's
audibly, not really.
Yeah. There's a. It's hard. It's a hard problem to solve because he looks like a big rock man. Yeah.
He looks just like in the comics. He's got the face, and he's like big, but he's not like too big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he looks good.
Yeah, he does. I mean, the like CG looks good. His whole appearance looks like really strong, I would argue. But he's just got a regular guy voice.
He does. He doesn't have like a gravelly voice. What I don't like, and maybe this is just me, like he claps his hand together and it sounds like rocks, and I don't like that. I know that's how it would sound, but it just I don't know what it is about, like he's like, oh yeah, this is good, and he rubs his hands like just like fucking rocks. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's what, like, the thing is, I was listening for that. That was honestly too subtle for me. I wanted them to be like the sound of like big stone doors opening.
I don't know why the sound of like stones rubbing together makes me like, ugh.
It's probably because you're like, what if he touches me? He's gonna rub on my he's gonna rub my skin off with his big. It's like sandpaper.
I don't know if that's like an autism thing. Like it's just fucking.
No.
The sound of it. I was like, oh no. I like the way it looks though.
Yeah,
that's fine. I like the way everything looks. I like the fucking fantastic car they have.
Yeah, that looks great. The set for like the tower looks great. I will say the only character who I'm like, I really don't buy your hair and your eyebrows is fucking Johnny.
Johnny, he looks like he has bleached hair, right?
Yeah, he looks like he's got bleached hair and bleached eyebrows. It looks like they put a wig on him and they put a wig on his eyebrows, and I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what you look like. I just don't.
He looks like an albino, right?
Yeah.
He's so fucking pale. And I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Like, fucking Human Torch, Johnny Storm is like the most generic looking white guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just blonde, pale white guy.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be hot, and
well, you don't really get good looks at him, so maybe
yeah, I mean, and he probably is. Like, I have no problem with like the person who's cast as him. I just think like the wig and the eyebrows look wrong. I'm like,
I'm betting it'll look better when you like get to look at him like more than just like a fucking glance.
Yeah, maybe so, because I see the like in the promo material, I see the actor, and I'm like, that's what you look like. You don't look like that guy. You don't look like Johnny. Johnny does not look like you.
I'm telling you, dude, it's gonna be fine. Like you barely see him. They showed the Thing more than anything,
mm-hmm.
and I think they did that because like every time they kept like the Thing hidden, the movie was kind of like, ugh.
Yeah,
like no, like in Fantastic, nobody liked the way the Thing looked,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, we're keeping him a secret." And then when everyone saw him, they're like, "Why is he naked? why is he look like stupid?" I don't know. I thought he looked dumb. I was like, why was he naked? Why didn't they give him trunks or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like anything. He's not just a rock down there. He has a rock weenie. Like he has to. Like rock thing has a thing down there. It's probably not like great to look at.
That's probably not great. It's probably a nightmare.
I don't know, because like in the comics, he's dating that blind woman, and apparently they get it on.
Maybe
even fucking in Fantastic Four 2 from the 2000s, like Johnny makes fun of fucking the thing. He's like, oh, it must feel like he's like, oh, when you're intimate with your girlfriend, must feel like a landslide. And he's like, oh, Johnny, you shut your mouth.
Oh,
He's like, oh, that's none of your business. I love the thing from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people were too hard on that movie. People are too hard on things. That movie was so good. I know we went to go see part 1 together.
Yeah.
And I love that movie, as corny as it was.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I remember watching it and being like, that was pretty good. That's like it's somewhere in the B spectrum.
It felt like a cheesy B movie. And I even bought it on DVD back then.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I watch it. I go watch it anytime.
Yeah.
The fight with Doctor Doom and his power set in those movies were like weird.
Yeah.
But I was okay with it.
You're like, well, all right, sure.
Yeah. The movie I'm kind of not really excited to see is Captain America.
Oh yeah, the new one with Red Hulk.
Yeah, I want to see the Red Hulk. That's fine, but like, man, Falcon is not strong enough to be his own, like the main character. I watched this hour-long YouTube video talking about it, about how what's his name, Sam something, right? He's not strong enough to be a main character. He's always been a side character, and he's always been great, but he's never really had any plot hooks or anything important happen to him for him to lead a movie, right? Even in his own show, his show was like really badly received, and he wasn't that great in it either. He was much better as a sidekick, comic relief. I don't think he should have been Cap. And I know it happened to the comics, but I really think Bucky should have been Cap. And I think it's because Bucky has like that whole redemption arc, and he has his whole redemption arc. He's a better person. He's like gone stronger. Like I think that Bucky, the actor, or whatever his name, has way more of a screen presence to draw in a crowd and have Sam be there as still as Falcon backing him up. I just don't. I don't think he can hold my attention long enough. Sam Fisher, Captain America, to believe that he's Captain. Right? He's just a normal guy. He didn't even have super serum, unlike Bucky.
It's Wilson. His last name is Wilson.
Sam Wilson.
Sam Fisher is Splinter Cell.
I was close. Close. Sam Wilson. So Sam, I don't think him fighting the Hulk as just a normal guy, no serum. I just don't believe it, because even in the trailer they show the Hulk hitting the fucking shield, and I'm just like, his arms have to be in pieces. His arms
just disintegrate. The first fight, he's like, floppy bones.
His bones are just dust. Like the shield can only absorb so much. You can't take a fucking full punch from a Hulk and be okay.
Yeah.
Like there's just no way. If Bucky did it, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. Like, I think the idea of Sam being Captain America makes sense, especially as a symbol. I like the idea that, like, this Captain America you never see without Bucky. Like, I like the idea that it's always going to be the two of them. I don't know if that's going to be the case in this movie, but I kind of like that as an idea. He
has his own sidekick, his own, like, new Falcon. the younger guy who is the comic relief, because like if you see in the trailer, they dropped a shit ton of like trailers yesterday for that movie. Like he's like flying through and he beats up these 3 guys and he's like, yes. He's like, man, nobody saw that. He's like, he's the comic relief. So I'm just like, I don't know this guy either.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are these people? Like, and then people won't even make the connection that Harrison Ford is General Ross. They're gonna say it, and they're like, Ross, that sounds like someone else I know from the movies. But like, they won't get it, and I don't know. I'm telling you, dude. Like, the movie is gonna flop, and because some people are, because Captain America's black is the reason, but also like, there's some people like me who don't think that Sam Wilson is strong enough to be Captain America and to lead a movie. And that's I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it. It's been through a lot of rewrites and stuff, test audience, and like some of the first screenings. They had to cut characters, they had to retool it. That's
never a good sign.
Yeah. They cut a character entirely, like this Israeli woman like character. They cut her a lot because test audience didn't gel with her. And like I said, I don't know, man. It should have been Bucky. That's all I'm saying. That's all I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand that argument. I am interested to hear what you think about the movie, because like I was never gonna see this movie. I've seen no Captain America movies. I've seen no Thor movies. Like I'm not the guy that sees all the MCU movies, or even most of them. I saw Guardians 1. I like that a lot. I saw Iron Man 1 and 2, but never saw 3.
Okay.
Wait,
didn't you go with us to the all-day Marvel marathon?
No.
That was when the first Avengers movie was coming out, right? It was me and Mike. I think it was Manny and John. We bought a special thing in Corpus for the all-day marathon, and we got like a cool like fucking lanyard, and I still have the buttons from there.
Hell yeah.
Somewhere over there. And they showed all the Marvel movies in order before the Avengers. So it was like Iron Man 1. Or no, it was like the Hulk, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor, and then Captain America. And then it showed, am I missing one? Iron Man, Thor, Cap. Okay, yeah. Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Cap, and then the Avengers in the evening. So we spent like all day watching all those movies. We only took a break during the movie we didn't really care for and to go eat. And we came back. And we saw the Avengers that night. Man, the hype for the Avengers was so real. Like,
yeah.
Man, I don't get hype like that anymore watching anything up before Endgame.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing is like, I mean, part of it is getting older and like having, you know, not having enough time to like go with friends to go do cool shit as well. But also just like less cool shit happens. Like that's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like I remember like camping out for like midnight releases for shit. Like those were always fun. Or like even like if you were into Harry Potter, like the midnight release of the book had some shit going on, and your local bookstore put on some cool shit. Like they still have things where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna marathon all of the Hobbit and all of the Lord of the Rings, and it's like, yeah, I mean that's cool. Like it's not for me though.
Yeah, I'm like,
and especially now, like if they were to be like, hey, the fight, like Avengers Doom is gonna come out, we're gonna be doing an all-day marathon, like they couldn't get through 24 hours because there's too much shit. So like, yeah, and you'd be missing stuff because of TV shows. So it's like, you got to pick and choose, and do you really want to sit there? And yeah, it's hard.
They'd have to show like all the multiverse shit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm no thanks. They couldn't do that for anything nowadays. Like back then, there was like only the standalone movies that barely kind of intertwined, and then they all came together in Avengers.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And there's just not so much hype anymore. Like the reason people loved Endgame and what's it called, Infinity War, is because there was like a decade of hype of Thanos.
Yeah.
He kept showing up in all the movies, and he kept like every time after a movie he would show up, and he would have like the gauntlet, or he'd have an Infinity Stone, or people would like find like piecemeal his story, and every time you saw him, the graphics for him got better.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Until finally they were like, this is what he actually looks like. And you were like, I know that actor, though. Like, I thought the first time they showed his face, I was like, that's the comic book guy. And then by the time I was like, oh, that's Josh. I know Josh. Okay.
That's Josh Brolin. Yeah, so I know who Thanos was, but like when they first showed him in, I don't even remember when they first showed him in the Avengers, maybe before that. Like he was neon purple.
Yep.
He was like super different. I don't know if you could like bring up like the first like hint of Thanos in a movie.
Yeah.
But like he looked, boy, he didn't look like he did in Infinity War or like in later, right? You just see his face. His face fucking pops in. You're like, whoa. And then like you see him later, you're like, wow, he looks really different.
Yeah, here we go.
But they built him up for like 10 years.
There you go. 2012 to 2014, 2023.
Yeah. Man. Oh my god, the 2012 one is... I don't want to say embarrassing, but like everyone knew who he was, but fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
2012. Yeah, I like this whole evolution, because I remember being like, because I don't read multiverse anything. I don't read Marvel comics that much. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is everybody freaking out? And they're like, it's fucking Thanos. And I remember being like, oh, like, yeah, first guy, this like 2012 guy up here. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like his eyes are kind of like
Capcom?
shiny. He's like super like red purple. Okay, that's like, all right, that's a choice. And then 2014 happens, and you're like, okay, he's like, okay, never mind. He's like a blue purple, and he's like, his face is definitely different. There's something about him that's like different. And then 2015, you're like, okay, yeah, same guy, I could tell. And then 2018 happens, and you're like, that's Josh Brolin.
Yeah, it's just Josh Brolin. He doesn't. He looks kind of the same, but no, he's just Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But like, see, the hype was there.
Yeah.
From like 2012 to when we like actually see him in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the buildup was real. Like, no one's excited. No one was excited like that for fucking Ultron.
Yeah, and they were trying to do that for Kang, and then his fucking actor got into a bunch of legal hot water, and they were like, oh, fucking Kang's over.
But even before that, he got his ass beat by Ant-Man. What kind of threat is he?
That's the thing, is like, I think they were not going to have his ass beat by Ant-Man. I think they were going to like have him, like, I think Ant-Man was going to like take care of some small shit, but be like, Kang's still out there. Dude, he's out there. Maybe it was gonna be MODOK. Maybe they're gonna be like, you know what, MODOK's like actually a threat in this movie.
Oh no, they don't even get me started on MODOK. They fucked him up too. It was so stupid to bring back the Wasp and make him MODOK. But then I get it, MODOK's just like a big head, but like he's not just a big head. He has like backstory. He's not just like, hey, it's me, the Wasp. I got a big head.
Hey,
like,
it's me.
It doesn't even make sense that he's MODOK. It just doesn't. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing. Like when the mask, you're like, oh, that's fucking cool. And then it brings up, it's just fucking his face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not cool though.
Yeah.
Like just, man.
Oh man.
It doesn't even make sense that he's in the the microverse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. They wanted to make the guy who played the Wasp MODOK, but it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then because comic fans are watching this, they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna tank. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Like at the very least, what it feels like Fantastic Four offers us is sort of like a break from like MCU deep lore. This is all same continuity, same storyline, because like what it feels like it's saying is like, okay, you could just watch this could just be its own shit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's cool. I like that. And then whenever they're like, psych, it's not. It's all connected, idiot.
They're gonna connect it because Robert Downey Jr. again is Thor or Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And with this new timeline, what we know from the movie The Marvels, which I don't think you do, but Monica Rambeau sacrifices herself,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets thrown to another dimension,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Beast from 90s X-Men. So this is a chance to introduce the X-Men into the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
because they're already introducing adamantium into Captain America Brave New World.
Mm.
So here's a chance to Fantastic Four is gonna introduce the X-Men. Probably in an after credit scene, you'll probably get a cameo by like Professor X or like one of the people playing the X-Men.
It's gonna be it's Wolverine. It's just Wolverine.
It is gonna be Wolverine because Wolverine puts people in seats.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be them. They're gonna show them at the very end, and then you're gonna put two and two together. You're gonna be like, oh fuck, it's connected.
Oh shit.
And then they're gonna like open a Doctor Doom's gonna be like, fuck this universe, and then he's gonna go to the MCU.
This universe sucks. This universe made Craven. I gotta go.
God, I don't think it's a Sonyverse. It's a thing.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
I would hope not.
This would have to be connected to the other Sony ones. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So like I said, Fantastic Four looks great. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be hyped, and I'm gonna come back and be like, I told you so. What they're gonna do and what it is. I already know how Disney works. They're not very subtle in the way they work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna do that. At the very end, they're gonna tie it in with X-Men and the MCU normal timeline. So
yeah, and like it's fine, right? Like it's just that like when I think about Marvel and I think about the MCU, the only thing like the biggest feeling that I have, unless I'm thinking about like this like a specific time, specifically like pre-Endgame, like if I think about that time, I'm like, yeah, good movies, like fun movies, got like a little bit of spice in there, got like a little bit connected universe shit going on, kind of nice, kind of cameos, like it, good stuff. But if I think about the MCU as a whole right now, I go, I'm so anxious because I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't like what happened in the new Marvels movie, what happened in Eternals, what happened in the Loki TV show, what happened in like all this shit. Like what happened to Kang? Are they going to mention him? Do I need to know that? Like,
nope. They're never bringing Kang back unless they switch actors, and it's fine if they do because Kang is established to have multiple of himself. So it would make sense if they got a new actor to play Kang to come and be a new Kang, be like, oh, this is Kang from this universe.
Yeah.
So he can look like someone else.
You know what? That's a good fucking point. Because, like, they established in Loki that there's a bunch of Lokis that don't look like Tom Hiddleston. Why does every Kang look like Kang?
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to. And they don't have to drop the character. Although, like, it will be a whiplash if like you go back and you see all the fucking Kangs and they look like what's his face.
Yeah.
But the one that looks different is the true evil Kang, like the big bad evil.
Yeah.
So you could just say that, like he's from a different universe, just like Tony Stark is. He's either going to be Tony Stark, which turns into Doom in the Fantastic Four,
Mm-hmm.
or he's going to be Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
So like they're playing with multiverse, which is smart because then they could like make characters look different, make characters like look different. My only thing is I hope they don't bring in Peggy Carter from What If, because like no one liked the What If series because it was supposed to be like an anthology series, but then it just turned into what if this happened? But then Captain Peggy was just like, oh, I'm gonna be in all the like multiverses and save them. And they had like all these women heroes from different multiverses. Like they had Captain Peggy Carter, they had that Native American hero, I don't even know, who was just basically God.
Mm-hmm.
They had a few of them, and it like
They had
there was
Adam
no dude.
Warlock. I know he's not a girl, but he's got long hair.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I liked What If season 1 was fine, but then I didn't even watch 2. I didn't watch 3. That's how little I cared.
That's the thing. Disney did not learn its lesson with Star Wars. They just didn't. Like whenever it was like, oh yeah, we're doing, we did the 3 movies, we did it, and everybody unanimously was like, wow, what a mid-tier trilogy, what like way to fumble the landing. Like depending on who you are, you either like hate the whole thing, you don't like the first movie but you like the second, you like the first 2 but not the third, you kind of like all 3 but not as much as you like anything else. Like the opinions on it are not rallied together in the way that it's like everybody likes the classic trilogy and you can argue about like what's better, like Empire Strikes Back or fucking or Return of the Jedi, but like I don't think anybody is arguing like God, what is it? Rise of Skywalker versus like the Last Jedi. I don't think anybody is arguing between, like, people argue that The Last Jedi was the best one, but I don't think anybody is like, wow, it's fucking.
Is that episode 7?
Episode 7 is Empire Strikes Back. Last Jedi is episode. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, you're right. Episode 7 is, yes, Last Jedi.
That was my favorite one. Of the last.
Oh no, sorry. It's episode 8. Sorry, episode 8. Episode 7 is Force Awakens.
Okay, so Force Awakens is my favorite one. That's how much like little I care about that.
Mm-hmm.
Force Awakens is my favorite of that trilogy because it had so much potential.
Yeah, same. I like. Disney just keeps doing this thing where they're like, yeah. We're doing design by committee because we're afraid that this is going to flop, and doing design by committee just means that like no cool ideas are expressed. Like you can't take things to a logical conclusion. You're too busy looking in all the different directions and being like, I don't know, like we've set up a bunch of stuff and I'm going to pick this thing. I'm going to drop everything else. And it's like, stop.
Yeah. And with the MCU, they keep introducing characters that aren't as good as anyone, like the pre-established one, especially in the shows.
Mm-hmm.
And like nobody really likes. Like, do you think for a minute that fucking I think in the Thunderbolts maybe like you'll get that crew and people will probably like them because they have a fun dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But like nobody liked the Lady Taskmaster because she like her backstory was stupid. And they ruined Taskmaster. They ruined a cool reveal of a cool character to make her, oh, she's just a mute girl that Natasha couldn't kill when she was younger. And she got trained by this guy, and now she's Taskmaster. That's dumb. Nobody likes that.
Mm-hmm.
But like the new Black Widow, the younger sister, she could be cool. The red Captain America, what's his name, could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all funny, but like, do you think for a minute that they're gonna bring Echo into MCU? Like, what would she fucking add to any of those movies? No one liked Echo. No one even knows her.
Yeah.
Like really, like they're doing a new Daredevil show, and if they put him in the MCU, it would be great because everyone likes Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're gonna put She-Hulk in any of the new fucking MCU movies? No, because her show bombed. It was badly written. And like, what would she add to the show, or what would she add to the any of the movies?
Mm-hmm.
What are
Yeah.
they gonna do with the Hulk who introduced his son at the last episode of She-Hulk? Are they just gonna forget about that? Like, what now?
Yeah.
They're just introducing.
It's almost too big and too sort of unwieldy now to like you introduce a new concept and it's like I can't hold all this shit in my brain at the same time, because like the thing is I don't watch, like, I watch One Piece lore YouTube, okay? Like that's the corner I'm on. MCU has so much content that it's hard, and especially because so many people do so many different things, that like you can pick out one particular detail and be like, this is contradicted in these 3 different movies. Like this is contradicted in these 3 different movies. With One Piece lore, it's like, well, it's all written by the same guy. He's usually pretty careful. You know, you get some fuck ups here and there, but like it's fine.
It's been going for 20 years.
Yeah. But when you like for the MCU, it's like, okay, it's been going for like a very long time, and you start to think about like, okay, well, in this show, I just made the decision. Yeah, Hulk has a son. Okay, well, cool. I guess who did he have the son with? Like, what is the son's powers? Are we gonna see him again? Do we need to like? Is he gonna show up in the next movie? Where was that revealed? Do I need to watch that in order to like see the Captain Falcon movie? Because now fucking not Captain Falcon, Captain America movie.
See?
Like, do I need to be able to see that? Like, at the very least, what Fantastic Four I think is offering us is like, just throw all the MCU shit out the window and just like watch this and it's fine, because we're not going to be like, oh, fucking look, actually it's a Hulk's it's Hulk's grandfather who got hulked too. He got retroactively hulked.
Oh man.
He's old Hulk. He's gray Hulk.
Oh my god. Like, that's so stupid. The cool thing with Fantastic Four is you don't have any preconceived anything. It's set in a time period different from the MCU. It's almost going to be a popcorn flick where you can just watch it and have fun.
Yeah.
Whereas Captain America, you have to have like pre-established knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Sam Wilson Captain America now? You have to have watched the the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Why is who is General Ross, and why is he Red Hulk? We had to have read the comics to know that. Where's Hulk gonna be? Because he's still in the universe. Why isn't he in this movie?
Yeah.
Like, why is this Captain America's like fight? This would be a Hulk fight, right?
Yeah. This should be Red Hulk should be Hulk's. Although, I don't know. What if he shows up? What if he shows up with the son and She-Hulk and they do a big Hulk punch? I don't know.
I would hate that. I would hate that, because I hate the way Mark Ruffalo does Hulk now. He was cool in part 1.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool in some of the other stuff. But then when he started getting fucking quirky and shit in the Thor Ragnarok movie,
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. The Hulk was still Hulk. But then after he got his ass beat by Thanos and he was too afraid to come out.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. For a shitload of reasons. After that, and he didn't come out after Infinity War, and Endgame, he was just Mark Ruffalo Hulk. He was just weird, quirky, big chungus.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody liked that. Like, I didn't like. They didn't feel like the Hulk. It just felt like CGI Mark Ruffalo. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? Then in the new Captain America movie, you have that weird fucking nerdy guy with the glasses, the black dude with the gun, who's also fighting Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one from, I think, Breaking Bad. I don't know his name.
Okay.
He's been in a trailer. He's also an antagonist. So you have 2 antagonists fighting Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just seems like they're doing too much.
Yeah, so I'm also looking this up because you mentioned like, oh yeah, people are not going to know who like Ross is, and I was like, why? Yeah, I don't remember who Ross is at all. There's such a fucking long article about Ross and like chasing Hulk, building the team, like being the Secretary of State. And there's pictures of him from like every Avengers movie and fucking, oh, look, he's here, he's doing this. And like the actor looks entirely different.
He passed away, which is unfortunate. But also like he was in Iron Man 1, he was in Iron Man 2, he was in the Avengers, he was in Captain America.
Captain America, yeah.
Yeah, like he was there. He wasn't like a big part, but he was always just like he represented the government, right? And now he's the president inexplicably. But then people are gonna be like, well, who's Ross and why is it Harrison Ford? Like for people who don't know. And why is he the Hulk? Like how does that make sense? Well, no one's gonna fucking connect that he was the Ross from all the other stuff that was chasing the Hulk and fighting the Avengers and like fucking coming after them with the government. Because he looks so different.
Yeah. They're going to have to explain that. Because, like, they've changed actors a couple of times. But every time it was, like, a pretty big, like, hey, this guy plays this character now. Ross is not a big enough character for them to be like, he's being played by Harrison Ford now. Who? Who the fuck is that?
Which I think was a bad pick. Don't get me wrong. I like Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford is like 90. Like he shouldn't be doing roles like this. Granted, the Red Hulk, like the Harrison Ford Red Hulk face looks pretty cool.
Yeah. But
when you think of General Ross, you think of like white, like crew cut and a mustache. Harrison Ford just looks like Harrison Ford.
That's Harrison Ford's biggest weakness is no matter what he's in, you're like, that's Harrison Ford.
He does. His hair's always just like messy. And he's like small and diminutive now because he's old. Like he doesn't look imposing. Like how's this old man gonna be the Red Hulk from now on unless they kill him in this movie?
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense, and I don't like it. They're gonna beat him and then be like, "Well, we're gonna put him in the Hulk prison, and you'll never see him again until we bring him back, and he's a different actor." Man,
I'm looking. I forgot that he married Callista Flockhart. I forgot, and they're still married. It's good for them.
Harrison Ford did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Harrison Ford married Callista Flockhart in 2010. They're still together. He's 89 years old, I think.
Well, how
no, sorry, 82.
And how old is she?
She's 60.
I would say, but I mean, they're both old, so.
They're both old. It's fine.
Speaking of getting off topic a little bit, fucking, you see Kanye West and his stupid wife on the Grammys?
I saw a picture and I was like, oh, she's just naked. And then Kanye's just there like, yeah, I did that. And I'm like, I don't care.
Hey guys, look at my wife. She's naked. And everyone's like, okay.
I was like, I was pretty sure the least interesting, most grating thing was going to be Jaden Smith. But nope, it's them.
Jaden Smith in his stupid castle helmet.
Yeah, his castle hat.
Just fucking walking. And he's like, yep. I'm not even gonna fucking talk about what I'm wearing.
Yep.
You just get to see it.
Here I am.
What's so funny is that I guess it had become so mainstream that even my mom was making fun of it. Like, and she knew him by name. She was like, I was like, did you see what fucking Kanye West's wife did on the fucking red carpet? She was like, no, but did you see Jaden Smith and his stupid fucking box hat? I was like, first of all, Mom, it was a castle. Second of all,
it's a castle. Thank you.
yes, I did. But what's it called? Yeah, no, I that was a side tangent because I saw it and I was like, what the. I shouldn't be surprised because every time like paparazzi taking pictures of her, she's just naked all the time.
Yeah. And
people are like, why is Kanye making her do that? I'm like, no, I think she just enjoys the attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing that Kanye is like, they've both done this a lot recently. I guess not recently, but within the past like year or so, it's like, Kanye's getting a hand job on a boat. Like her whole ass is out in this outfit. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Kanye basically had his moment of like saying some shit about like he just doesn't like Jews, and
Yeah, he's like, man, Hitler was, wasn't wrong.
yeah, he's like, you know what? I think you should evaluate people in the whole. So maybe Hitler said some shit that was good, and it's like, oh, Kanye, you tone deaf fuck. Like, don't. Oh man.
I just think I think he's off his meds. That's just what it is, and no one put him back on.
Yeah, the thing is now it looks like he's clamoring to like be in headlines again and make people care, and it's like, I don't know that anyone does, dude.
And that's the thing, he's not saying anything problematic anymore. He's just doing problematic things.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, did you see on Twitter the real Donald Trump tweeted his naked body getting tanned?
No.
Oh god, we all saw his wiener. I don't know. I don't know if it's real. It could be, but I would hope that you would see it because it's so weird.
Nope.
Because the like the name of like the article that he shared. He shares an article of, I think he was gonna go on Rogan or something. He was gonna do something, and the article is like huge, and then it's just him getting tanned and his tiny little balls and wiener are out. It's so funny. So I don't know if it's him, but it has to be. It has to be.
Why? I don't. After all of the things that have like that, the news, I swore to myself, like, election was over, and I'm like, man, I have to disconnect from the news for a while. Like, the next 4 years are going to be rough. And then January was hard, and February shaping up to be hard too, because it's like I keep every new thing that happens, I'm like, someone stop them, please. Anyone.
Joe Biden signed up to some Hollywood agency,
and
that's silly. You know what? Just take it from V. Just stop caring about politics. Just stop caring, right?
Yeah, I can't because I give a shit about where I live and my friends, and I want them to have rights.
I disassociate from like everything, and I just can't hear it anymore. I can't, and the thing is, I doom scroll Twitter, so I have to see it, but I'm just like, oh, it's not real. It's Twitter.
It's not real. This is just Twitter.
It's not real. It's just Twitter. It doesn't exist in real life, and I go to work, and it never affects me. Right. So like, and I hear the stupid shit he's doing, and I hear the bad things he's doing. I'm like, man, that sucks. But it's not real, so it's cool.
But it's not real. That's happening somewhere else.
Some people might say that's a shitty way to look at things, but if you want to get through like life and not like grow wrinkles or get fucking white hair, just disassociate from politics.
Just disassociate from life. Just pretend like life doesn't exist.
Life doesn't exist. Life's just a game until they introduce full dive VR. Then I'm back in it, baby.
I'm right back in.
I'm right back in. So we are almost out of time, but I think we have enough time for the last topic.
How to pull rare Pokemon cards every time, or
no, you dildo.
Oh yeah, let's hold on to that for next time. Sure.
Oh, okay. Well then, I mean, it's only been an hour and 15 minutes. You wanna wrap it up early, or you wanna filibust?
Are you talking about doing about the AI fight or nerd movies?
Oh, I would say all we did was talk about nerd movies.
Good point. Yeah. Okay. So very briefly, basically, like here are the things that happened in sort of in order. Trump took office, and then one of the things that he signed was like, hey, we're going to give $500 billion to build new power plant infrastructure for artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Just like, cool.
So what does that mean?
That means that like AI takes so much power to run that in order to run AI, we're gonna run out of power. And so like Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, Meta, anybody that has an AI model that they want to run, they're all looking to have power for that. And
good.
That just means that power is going to be super expensive for us because they keep using it all. And so they're trying to find a way to do that. And so $500 billion originally invested, I think, from one of the Middle Eastern countries that's like oil dependent. The first 100 billion are going to come from that, and then 400 additional billion dollars are going to be coming up later. So all of that to do more like things to be able to make power and power stations and make them smaller and safer. And that includes like tiny nuclear reactors that are like safer and you can deploy anywhere really, really easily. And like smart grid systems and shit like that.
Like a disaster.
But the thing is, all of it is for AI, which like, however you feel about AI, this at the very least is one thing where you can be like, this is kind of like the space race, you know, where like we got a bunch of cool technology out of the fact that we wanted to go to the moon, and there's no value in going to the moon. Like, it's all the shit that you have to build to get there. So like, if we can just build tiny power stations that are like, they provide a lot of power and it's all safe, then great, cool.
But if we didn't go to the moon, who would have all the cheese?
That's a good question.
The cheese on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Here is my what's it called, solution for infinite power and how you can provide it to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Go into the Gulf of America and build a big man-made like mountain or waterfall, and just have an electric like wheel to produce electricity, and get a big cord and plug it to America.
That's it.
That's
easy.
Easy.
Just build a mountain. Easy to do in the ocean.
Why haven't we done that yet? Just build like a man-made like dam, like you know how they have those things on the water with just like wheels to produce electricity, with like man-made just water flowing into it constantly.
Yeah.
Why haven't we done that? That would produce infinite electricity. I always see people talking about like, oh, we built a wheel, it's infinite electricity if we build it right next to this water, like build it right next to this like water, and then we have a village right there. Like, why can't you do that with America? Just build like in all the oceans that we own, just numerous of those.
Just put them in. There's a bunch of reasons. It's hard to build in the ocean.
None that could fucking prove me wrong with my infinite energy glitch.
That's
everyone hates this one man, and this one reason.
Yep, you just
everyone hates him.
You know what? I think you're right. What if we just run a power cord from here to the sun, and then we'll get infinite heat too? Easy. Fuck it.
Just a big magnifying glass. We already have the dome. Just move it out of the way.
I know. So that happens, right? $500 billion, because AI is so important, and AI is so big, and like America's going to be the center of AI, and like we need, like this is going to be our leg up in the next technological generation. And then like a week or two later, China decides to release, they're like, hey, we made a new AI model. It's open source. We made it for under $6 million, and it's better than all the other AI models, actually. The ones that require all the power and shit. Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah. It's way better than America's AI.
The thing is, it is. And they made it for a lot cheaper. The reason why is because it's basically, it's using the other like open source models to like draw conclusions, and so it does its job. It does a better job of like answering questions and generating results from like prompts, and then some of the other AI solutions, because it's like distilled the data that they use. And so whenever you're like talking to ChatGPT, it's running a model that like has to do a lot of processing and connect a bunch of like data, and it takes a lot of power to do that. This one is like, okay, what if I like pretended to take a snapshot of that and then saved it to a hard drive, and then I just asked that, basically. Like, Let's like simplify down the answers. Let's just take all the answers from ChatGPT and then you can just ask for one of those answers. Like is kind of what it's doing. The best way that it was explained to me was like, if you imagine somebody's like a badass carpenter, like you can ask them to make anything out of wood and they're like pretty fucking good at it. And then that carpenter trains an apprentice, but that apprentice only knows how to build cabinets. If you happen to work for a cabinet business, you don't need the master. You just need the apprentice. So just makes sense. And I just think that it like that came out and then fucking Sam Altman, the dude who's like from OpenAI is like, well, that's not fair because they're using our shit. And it's like, I don't know. Seems like it should be illegal to like they're trying to introduce a law to like not use it. And it's like, sorry, for what? What are you fucking talking about?
I mean, like, isn't OpenAI like open source? So like that's not illegal just by like because of what it is?
So yes and no. It used to be open source. That changed a little while back. And they haven't always been the best stewards of like open source and like open information. They like actively excuse me, took just a whole bunch of information on the internet that they're like, yeah, there's no copyright for any of this shit. It's just, it's on the internet, so it's free. And we're just going to put it into our model. And it's fine.
We all know the internet's fake.
Yeah, the internet's fake and all the shit on it's fake. So like, fuck it. And so like they did that. And so it's kind of like, oh, wow. Yeah. Somebody stole from you. The person who stole from everybody. Wow. Oh, no.
Yeah, no shit. You're honestly like AI is making being an artist like not a thing anymore because like eventually Pixar and Disney are like, we're just gonna use AI to just kind of make things go a little faster, right? Just to like help in between. Like we're gonna have people like actual people do all the drawings and the storyboards and whatnot, and like draw the major things and like give all the CGI models, but then we're gonna have AI do all the in-between stuff, right? So that way it can make movies come out faster and whatnot. And you know what? We're gonna do that for video games too, and we're gonna do that for like CGI and whatnot. And then like after a while, they're gonna be like, well, what if we just had AI do a little more, right? What if we just took a few of the humans' jobs and had AI do all of the what's it called? The concept art, and maybe we have them do a few scenes on its own. Just see how it goes.
Just some small ones.
Just little, no one would even notice.
Or like, the worst thing, they come up with a movie and then 6 months later they're like, did you notice? This 5 minutes was all done by AI. And everybody's like, wow, amazing.
Be like, of course we noticed. Everything looked weird.
Everything looked shiny and everybody had 8 fingers.
Like, that's the thing anymore because like some AI, like cheap AIs, they get the finger thing wrong, but like now they're starting to fix that. So like, haven't you seen the evolution of Will Smith eating spaghetti to how it looks now? Yeah. Like, you just can't tell. So like, eventually you'll be like, you didn't know these 5 minutes were AI? Kind of could, because like the movements weren't like real human, I guess. Everything kind of looked a little robotic, and the way the the animation like went from like looking kind of fun and exaggerated to kind of like stiff and robotic. Yeah, we could tell. So like, I don't know. I think it's shit. I think AI shouldn't be used in art, shouldn't be used in CGI, it should only be used to help. And I think you've said that before. Yeah. Right? It should be a tool used only to help make things like flow better, make things flow faster. It shouldn't be a tool to be used to replace. That's where I'm at. Like, the thing is, in my industry, which is software engineering, like, there are a bunch of like AI models that are out there that can help you do what you want to do and do it kind of fast. Which is nice. Like, you can be like, hey, why isn't this thing working?
I'm getting like this error, or like, hey, I don't want to spend 2 hours writing this software from scratch. Can you like generate me a project that does these things and like this code that does this thing, and it'll just do it. And the thing is, like, it used to be really bad. And it's getting better. It's getting better at doing certain tasks though. So like if you're like writing a thing, like, so if I'm writing a game that's like, hey, if the score of player 1 is higher than the score of player 2, then display these win messages. Else, then, you're like, talk to the AI. The AI is like, oh, okay, yeah. So if player 2 won, then display these other messages. Else, it's a tie, display these messages. And it's like pretty good at doing some of that. It's pretty good at doing some boilerplate stuff. But like actually doing business logic, you end up turning into a prompt engineer where you're like, why won't it's not giving me the right code. I don't know. And so you're spending 12 hours getting to the same place that you could have gotten to if you would have just like done it yourself. And now you don't know how to debug it because like it's like you didn't write it. So when they're like, there's a bug in this, you're like, I bet.
That's when you bust out the debug AI.
That's right.
Fuck. I don't know, man. AI is being used wrong.
Yeah. I agree. And like I said, the whole like $100 million for AI power thing, I don't like that it's specifically being made for AI power, but our power grid has been needing an upgrade since the fucking 80s, 90s, like especially the one in Texas. Like I will never forgive Texas for having an entirely isolated power grid system that they refuse to do anything fucking cool with. It's always just like, no. We have our own power grid, and we could do whatever we want to with it. And it's like, okay, cool. So like, you're going to put in some cool tech to be like, make it more energy efficient, or like make it so that it costs less money, or you're going to like make it to where, power doesn't have to like go as far, and like, yeah, like you're going to do some cool stuff like that. Right. And they're like, if by that you mean like not put any like winterizing stuff on it so that the power goes down when it gets below 40 degrees. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Oh, cool. Fucking nice.
That didn't really happen this year. And it was in the 30s, or at least it didn't happen in my neck of the woods that I know.
Yeah. Past 2 years were enough for me. I guess 3 years. 3 years ago for 2 years, it was like every year, cool, yeah, you're just going to lose power for 3 days. And just because it's cold. And that's it.
And we didn't lose power. It was great. Although last night at work, we didn't have power for a whole terminal. So
oh, no.
Like, I was sitting in the dark for like at least 3 hours.
Hell yeah.
But I also took a nap for 3 hours.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, listen, could it is it because the power was out and no one could see me? Maybe.
Who knows?
What, like, did I actually sleep? If anyone from work is listening to this, no.
I was a good boy.
I was staying vigilant and I was doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no proof because the cameras were out.
I take Homeland Security very seriously.
Could you believe if I worked for Homeland Security?
No.
I think you'd probably think something was wrong with the world if I was working for Homeland Security.
Yeah, you were 100% correct. If I saw you at an airport that I landed at and you were doing TSA, I'd be like, number one, I know that you're not protecting anything, but TSA doesn't really protect anything anyway, so I don't care. The second thing that I would ask is like, okay, what cool shit have you stolen from people that have left behind? Because I know you have. I know you've got like 4 knives at home now.
Listen, Homeland Security is not just TSA. Like, I'm actually a Homeland Security agent. Mm-hmm. It's all because I failed upwards.
Mm-hmm.
If you feign that you know what you're doing and you show up, that's all people like worry about.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, Fee, We want to promote you to Homeland Security for whatever reason, because you've been with the company for so long and we got an opening. I'd be like, all right, let's do it. And they're just like, all right, you just got to pass the simple, like, a Homeland Security test, and maybe it's easy. And you got to pass the shooting tests. And I know how to shoot guns because I've done shooting tests before.
Because I play Resident Evil.
I know. I had to learn how to shoot when I worked at the prison. And I shot guns, so I know how to shoot. It's just they're like, and you show up, you got the job.
You show up. That's the important one.
That's the important thing, when you show up. And I don't think you're corrupt. You wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't hold your power to anyone like that. You're Homeland Security, which is true. But you bet your ass that lost and found is mine. Yeah,
exactly. And they sometimes sell some shit that they're like, oh yeah, people have like left this behind. If you ever want a 12-inch knife that somebody left behind, yeah, here you go.
Why would I sell it? I would obviously keep it. If I found multiple knives, I'd have just a drawer here at home of just knives that I've kept.
Yeah, this is my confiscated knife collection.
Dude, collection, right? Such a cool collection.
Yeah.
This is my confiscated knives collection. I keep this in my confiscated lost or found underwear and miscellaneous clothes.
Oh.
Will I wear them? Maybe. Will I sell them? Probably.
Maybe. This is the prize jewel in my whole collection. This is Tom Brady's pocket knife. He was flying out. I don't know why he was in Corpus, but he was flying out and he had a knife on him. And I said, sir, you can't take that with you. And he said, I don't give a shit. And then he left. And now I have Tom Brady's knife. So
I made him autograph it too. And I took a picture for authenticity. Because I'm Homeland Security, I could do that.
Yep, that's right.
If I had any kind of authority, I think people would probably be like more lax because I'm such a lax guard, right? They'd be like, oh, B's on duty. Great. Hey guys, what's going on? You got any drugs? No, sir. As long as they don't have any drugs, come on in.
Come on in. It's fine.
Cool. I'm taking a nap. I'm watching Solo Leveling. Don't bother me.
Don't bother me. Some cool shit's about to happen.
Listen, let's get this done quick. I had to pause my anime for this. Like, put that on a shirt. Fucking, I had to pause my anime for this.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, shit. I think that's the end, Colby.
Yeah, listen, we're at the end. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening live, you're already there. But if you're not, you can follow us at twitch.tv/GoGetUsPod. That's where you'll find us go live anywhere between 0 and 2 times a week. If you can't listen live or don't feel like it, you can also listen to the audio version of the podcast. It's got slightly better audio quality, and it comes out every Wednesday at 5 a.m. Pacific time. That way you can listen to it on your way to work. You can also catch the VOD of the stream. That'll be up after the audio version comes out. So it'll be up Wednesday at noon Pacific time. And if long form content is not your thing, we also have shorts that go up all the time on our TikTok, our Instagram, and our YouTube shorts. So if one of those platforms pisses off Elon Musk and it gets shut down for no reason, then it'll be on the others. So there you go.
Sky. We're on Blue Sky.
That's right. We're on Blue Sky as well. So you can follow us there in the good place.
In the good place. Wait for the good pitches. We're on Twitter. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on everything. You know how easy it is to find us? We're there, baby.
Yeah.
Just gotta like, follow, subscribe, share all this shit, and then you too can be a go-getter.
I don't know about that. I'm not ready to let you in. You'll have to take a very easy test and prove you know how to shoot a gun, I guess.
That's how we do it in Texas. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to your local movie theater, buy a ticket for Fantastic Four, which I don't know when it comes out, but buy the ticket, go sit in the theater and wait. No matter what they tell you, sir, you can't sit here. The movie doesn't come out for months. You're gonna be like, but I bought my ticket. I'm gonna sit here and wait.
Everything that I watch in this theater for the next few months is previews.
This is all previews. I want you to wait and just wait until the movie comes out. And when they finally call the police and chase you, I want you to grab your drink, grab your popcorn that you presumably found on the floor
Yep.
while there, get in your car, go get them.
Go get them. This is a roundabout way to become homeless and a criminal. So that it's a 2-for. It's great.
Listen, usually like my go get 'ems are more violent. I'm trying to tone it down. It's a new year, baby. New year, new me.
New year, new me.
I gotta tone it down. I don't want all our listeners to be violent criminals. I don't want to be held accountable for people going and doing things on our behest.
Yeah.
I want people to do funny crimes, but not on our behest. I just want them to do funny crimes.
I just want to watch funny crimes, and I will suggest a funny crime. This is not me telling you to do it, though.
This isn't the funny crime challenge, but it would be funny if you did it. Later. Goodbye.